Hey, what's up, y'all? It's your boy DTM here, and today we're going to make the cucumber juice like I promised. So this is Cucumber Juice Mastery, and then we're going to have a really awesome little discussion about the power of raw and living food. Can you dig it? So check it out. We got the Green Star juicer here. I'll make a video on juicers real soon because there's been more questions. Like I said, we'll go back to the basics, but for now, the Green Star is epic. It's $500 and it lasts forever, and it extracts a lot out of the juice. Which reminds me of a very important part of this. When you go to make the cucumber juice, cucumber juice is the only one where you really need to think about this, but you can actually extract a lot more juice if you utilize a nut milk bag. And you can do this if you have a centrifugal juicer. You can take the pulp after you're done and strain it through a nut milk bag. But so watch what happens and how much juice is left over. Just the cucumbers are so water and rich. Cucumbers are one of my favorite juices. Watermelon, cucumber, orange juice. I love the mono juices and I love the mono eating concept. The more refined I get, the more awake I get, the more sensitive I get, the more I realize simplicity, number one, but then just that mono simplicity. There's something about mono juices and mono fruit meals, or even like sometimes I'll even like eat 2 heads of kale. I know it sounds crazy, but it's just because we've been culturally conditioned for ding dongs and Denny's and Pizza Hut. But when you really go down this road and you're like, how do I really feel the best? And you try all these experiments, you find out the more simple, the better. Because really at a time, once you get over the muscles and the vanity of it, and you're working more on the spirituality and how you feel, instead of by how you look, you start going by how you feel, just because I've had a lot of comments about how skinny I am. But you know what? It's okay. I mean, I've really had to embrace that. I eat living foods, and that tends to keep you thinner. So for those of you who are overweight, that's good news. For those of you who are more ectomorphs like me, you know, you want to figure out a way, and there is a way. You can eat a lot more food, and you can lift weights, and you can keep weight on to keep everyone around you happy. But the problem is it might kind of bog you down and your spiritual evolution. So spiritual evolution at a certain point in your maturity becomes everything. Your desire to connect with God, life, truth, and to become more of a superconductor for the divine energy. So you want to purify the vessel after all these years. It doesn't make sense to the average person who hasn't quite gotten fully woke yet why someone would want to continue to cleanse, refine, illuminate the physical organism so that the emotional body, the mental body, and the spiritual body can be activated to their highest potential. But then you'll see that you walk into a room, you don't say anything, and everyone is blessed by that. And they feel your presence because you're emanating a higher vibration and you're lifting up everyone. You're lifting up the ocean of humanity by what you've allowed yourself to become through the process of physical, emotional, mental, spiritual detoxification and regeneration by the process of refinement, which is just awakening to the truth and getting the right knowledge, and then doing the part that most people don't do, because it's easy to watch videos on YouTube, but then to actually have the the tenacity and the desire to apply that for no other reason other than it's just the right thing to do. What good is knowledge if you don't apply it? Can you dig it? That's the introduction. Don't wave the knife around. I've heard that comment a million times. Anyways, it's good to see you. I really appreciate you all so much. Let's get started with the practical tips for today's cucumber mastery. Oh, stop waving the knife around. Okay, I need it though. Okay, here you go. And then you cut that in half, and then you cut these in quarters. Now this is for the for this particular juicer, or the smaller ones with the smaller holes, you got to make these little quarter wedges. That's why, in certain sense, and I am actually going to order a Breville Juice Fountain Plus just for things like this. Just because, and you know what? It's not necessarily for the cucumbers, but the carrots. The carrots in this thing take a long time. And if I had one of those centrifugal juicers, there's a lot of really, really good carrots here on the side. And let me show you. You know, this is DTM style. He gets excited and can never stay on topic. But anyways, these carrots are just epic. You know, just gorgeous nature bombs of just earthy epicness. So I want to get a centrifugal juicer myself so that I can just make the quick carrot juice, because it takes like about a half an hour to do this when I could do it in 5 minutes. Anyhow, we're going to do cucumber juice today. So I'm making these wedges just like this. Okay, so I'll make a few of these here. And it's about 4 of these big bad boys is what it's going to take to make a quart of juice. And I'm juicing for one of my clients today. So today is juice delivery day. So I'm just going to make the cucumber juice. And then off camera, I'm going to make several more juices with different herbs and stuff like that. And I'll try to do some more recipes and stuff. But really, my 3 best recipes are available at my website. All you got to do is send me your email. You go there and you go to free gifts. It'll be a link down below to my website. You go to free gifts tab, and then I'll send you 3 of my top healing juice recipes. Most of you have seen me do that, or most of you have that. And then you'll have those top 3 healing juice recipes and the whole rundown on the benefits of all those juices. And so basically I have like 10 fallback juices. And as I've evolved, like I said, the mono juices have my heart, just like watermelon. Without lemon, but it's still awesome with the lemon. Or cucumber with lime. Or, check this out, cucumber, coconut, and lime cilantro. Or cucumber, pineapple, coconut, cilantro, mint, and lime. So rewind the video, write those down, do it. That's the tropical rush, is the pineapple, and this one is the one I have a lot because the pineapples here are just banging. So you take the pineapple, look at this. Oh, I'm waiting for this one. I knew when I saw that. You see how plump those are? That just means it's sweet and ripe and ready to go. And so I'm stoked about that. So I'm going to I take the pineapple, cucumber, cilantro, mint, sometimes kale to make it really dense. Throw a lime in there, some coconut water, and it's just like a tropical, all local, just explosion of flavor and energy and hydration and minerals. Amen, baby. DTM, too excited about too many things. Like a kid with ADD. Surprise, surprise. ADD. Going way back, 1974, dude. Woo! We don't even want to talk about any of the stuff that just started popping into my head about the ADD, the immunoexcitotoxicity. So we're all on a healing mission. I do consultations every day. I just had an epic consultation with a beautiful soul, ready for the next level, and she's done a lot of the work. And that's why we were talking today. Hey, it only took me 8 minutes to get here, but today's topic is raw food wakes you up. And it is time to wakey. Who cares if everybody else wants to go to sleepy weepy? That's okay. Sleepy walkie, zombie, okay? Walking Dead. I talked to Davis the other day and he's like, I said, how's it going, bro? And he's like, pretty good. And he's just like, man, this is just the Walking Dead. In LA, Los Angeles, California, land of free thinkers and forward progress, but just we've been allowed to be overtaken by the corporate consciousness and the brainwashing of TV, magazines, media, and we just got to get our butts outside. And when you're done watching this video, subscribing, giving it a like, and going over to my Instagram and subscribing there because I've been more active over there too, and there's a link down below for that. Then you get your butt outside and go have some fun. I know, I shouldn't pretend like I'm happy. Okay, I'll stop. No, I'm stoked, man. I love the consults because there was a while there I just thought I was losing hope. I was losing hope in humanity, but then I realized, Dan, it's just the rare few, and that's what you live for. Those are your family, the children of the light, and just sharing knowledge and experiences with them is the joy. And then if everyone wants to go back and have the Walking Dead, the walking zombies, that's fine with me. If you don't want to see what's going on around you and you don't want to pay attention and you want to believe in all of the propaganda and the memes and the little bumper sticker slogans that we all get programmed with, and there's no science to back anything up, it's just, critical thinking is awesome, but it's not everyone's bag. A lot of times people want the government, the media, the pharmaceutical companies, the allopathic medicinal doctors to do all their thinking for them. Because it's just easier to suppress your symptoms than actually change your life. Raw food wakes you up. Living food wakes you up. And there was just a prime example of this amazing consultation that I just had of a woman who was steeped in the pharmaceuticals and then just, had something come up and then just had to look at everything and was like, chose the raw food path and got rid of the issue. I'm not going to share any details or anything. Chose the raw food path instead of the path that she was steeped in, which was the medical path. Just got rid of it. Adios, tumor. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying, you can go in there and get a biopsy and spread it all around and metastasize all through your body and then get fried up and burned up and poisoned and irradiated and feared to death. Or you can get hope that maybe whatever it is, you just got to get the electricity moving through you. You got to get the lymphatic system moving through you. Don't got to scream, Dan McDonald. And you can just heal yourself and get healthy, because health is the cure for all disease. And raw living foods produces molecules in your gut, whether that's the juicing, and all you can do is the daily juicing habit to start. That's where you start. You start bringing in the living life force energy, and it begins its process. Everybody eats a little bit of raw food, but it's not enough to negate the glyphosate, the GMOs, the deep fried canola oils, the processed foods, the colorants, the additives, all the junk, dead crap that just sits in there and has no benefits to the life-giving microbes. There's microbes that are associated with every different kind of food and different food subset. And the living, fresh, high water, fiber-rich foods that have electricity and conductivity are going to bring a certain types of microbes to life. Also, you're going to activate the communication network. You've heard me say this before, but each time I have consultations and talk to more and more people, have more understanding, I realize the reason why we're having all these issues is because the communication networks in our bodies are shutting down. Living foods reactivates that. Okay, these are living sugars, living proteins, living water, living fiber, and things we don't even know about yet. Subtle things that as science continues to evolve and our instrumentation begins to be able to see finer and finer particles of matter, we're going to go deeper and deeper and deeper, and pretty soon we're going to realize that living food gives life to the organism on every level. Very, very subtle levels of electricity that we can't even, you can only see it if you're awoke. So if you're not woke, it might be hard, like there's no electricity in this cucumber. But this thing was attached to a vine, and that vine went into the ground, and the ground wire was the ground, and the sun came down and hit the leaves that allowed that electricity from the sunlight energy to condense onto the plant leaves. And then this thing, as it grew, as it blossomed out as a flower and then grew, the water was coming up and the minerals and the vitamins through the roots, and then the electrical conductivity of the sunlight from these big giant leaves that are what are growing the cucumbers was absorbing the sunlight energy. And around this baby, freshly picked yesterday, is an aura of electricity. And the more clean and clear that your mind gets, the more you can see it. Oranges that are 3 weeks old are not the same as an orange that's on the tree. If you got to eat the 3-week-old oranges, that's what you do, because they still do contain their light. Oranges actually hold on to their electrical charge fairly well. Most fruits do. But you really want to try to pluck and eat anytime you get a chance to pluck and eat, whether it's herbs or whether it's fruit. That is the best way, because that's the highest amount of conductivity. That's the most amount of microbial activity on the outside of the fruit or the herb. that's when you start to reawaken the body, and you start to, when the body gets awakened by the life consciousness of the living foods and the microorganisms that release the molecules of life, that starts activating your genes epigenetically. So the food that you eat is an epigenetic factor in the activation of these genes that are just sitting there waiting for you to tell them what to do. So think positively. Learn about water fasting, raw foods, getting to bed on time. Intermittent fasting is a blessing. Thinking positively, who you're around, what you're exposing your mind to, what you're watching, listening to on the radio or TV. And those are all factors in the environment that are going to activate certain genes that are beneficial and life-giving and youthening and energizing, and other genes that are like, cancer causing, depression causing, diminishing of the microbiome, and then the depression because there's no serotonin and dopamine being produced because all the food is processed and cooked, and you've got colorants and additives, and glyphosate ruining your gut because it's processed, genetically modified junk. Now, I know not everyone can do perfect because the world has gone to hell in a handbasket, but take this information and do the best you can. Avoid as much of the chemicals as you can, because we got a lot of dunderheads in this world that are thinking that they can use chemicals to heal diseases that are caused by other chemicals. You want to get the chemicals out, and you don't want to use any more chemicals to help you to deal with autoimmune diseases and all kinds of different cancers that are coming up because of these chemicals and viruses that are introduced into us as babies intramuscularly, and our immune system never has a chance to fight it because our immune system is in our gut. So taken orally, you can get rid of heavy metals. Viruses can be eliminated and moved out of the system that are foreign invaders, but intramuscular injection is a 100% absorption. Now we've got work to do because it might not happen right then and there like it is for a lot of kids these days, where they're immediately affected by the synthetic substances that are like, even that night, they die of sudden infant death syndrome right after the jab. 75% of sudden infant death syndrome cases are on the night of the jabs, okay? And so what you got to do is clean that crap out of you, okay? This is not an easy road. They're going to look at you funny, but they're the funny ones. They're the sleepwalking zombies who are comfortably miserable. You want joy, peace, clarity, illumination, and consciousness so you can evolve as a soul. That is what's going to fill your cup. All the money in the world doesn't do it. The fame doesn't do it. Sex doesn't do it. Relationships can't do it. But a relationship with your inner self, as you clean your physical organism and become more and more resensitized and reawakened to the simple fact that you are alive. That is the greatest gift and the greatest joy. Then you take that aliveness and you see where your brothers and sisters are ailing, and you help them. You look for ways to be of service to yourself. Love yourself. Take care of yourself. Be of service to yourself. Was this a cucumber video? Good enough. Raw food wakes you up. Cucumber juice, you can't screw it up. I love you guys. You know I could go on and on forever, but you've heard it all before. But hey, maybe I said something today you didn't heard. Maybe I said it in a different way. Maybe you're stoked. You got to realize God is working on my heart. That's the only reason why I say this. I just had watermelon for 4 days. It's busting my heart open. It's simple, plain, basic food. Am I thin? Yes. Do I feel good? Yes. What matters? Big muscles or feel good? Yes, you can have both, but I'm an ectomorph. And I got to work so hard just to keep on a little bit of muscle that I got to let that part of my life go. It's okay for me to be thin and dead sexy, okay? I got to accept that, all right? And so that's how it is with me, because I got friends that are like, you should put on some weight. And I'm just like, you know what, man? I'm doing what I'm doing, and it is working for me, because illumination of the heart and illumination of the mind, those are my priorities. And God bless everyone who wants to put on muscle. You can do it as a vegan. You can do it as a raw vegan. It just takes some energy and time, and I can tell you how to do that if you want. I've done it before. But right now, I'm just rolling on pure life force energy and really working on mental purification and heart illumination. So those are two kind of different things, and very light, simple, plain, basic foods works really well for that. So God bless you. I hope that you got some kind of treasure out of today's video. You deserve it. If you made it this far, then I know that you're a child of the light and you're looking for the truth. And so I really hope that you feel awesome. Oh, that was the other thing. Sorry, I get so stoked. I mean, there's these certain things, like the recipes are important, the practical stuff, but then there's also just, I wanted to say, eat more raw food, eat more raw food. Do some cleanses this summer with watermelon. Take 3 days and eat watermelon. Watch what happens. It'll be amazing. You'll feel clear. You'll have some ups and downs energetically, of course. But at the end of the 3 days, you'll be like, wow, man, I feel really clear. Because you clean out your colon and your mind gets clear. The colon and the nerve endings and the debris and the dust and the junk that's in there kind of constantly being recirculated through the system, and bad old emotional stagnation and stuff like that, due to the eating while you're in an emotional state, leaves tracks and layers behind energetically. When you clean all that out, your mind wakes up. So it's Dan McDonald. He tries to get an hour's worth of teaching or a lifetime's worth of teaching into 20 minutes. Let me know how I did down below. Thank you so much. I am going to go out and play because I love life. I love nature. I love going outside to play, be happy, look for places to serve, to be kind, be generous with everything that you have, and watch God bless you. Generosity is the key to abundance for yourself. So life is precious and life is short. And today's the day to grow spiritually, to put your hands on the plow and make it happen. Pray and ask for guidance. And when you get it, you act. And you keep on acting. And you keep doing the best you can. I can go on and on forever. God bless you. Cucumber juice, absolutely epic. Thank you so much for everything that you are and everything that you mean to me is the world. This is the joy of my life, to serve you. That's why I continue to grow and refine myself so I can share this stuff to the best of my ability. So thank you all. Peace be with you. Raw foods wakes you up. Let's wake up to the highest levels of consciousness. Peace.